right, well, you know, when you were born again, you were sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise. And when God does the sealing, there ain't nobody or nothing gonna unseal it.
Amen.
Paul wrote about that. He gave you an extensive list, and he said, you know, nothing can unseal it. God came to live in you. And when you were born again, you were filled with His Spirit. Not just sealed. He gave you a spiritual gift through which He's going to exercise power in the course of ministry. And He allows the communication process to be complete. You talk to God, He talks back. But it wasn't long after you received Christ, that you were filled with the Spirit and sealed, that you sinned. Me too. And the Bible gives us two words for what happened. We grieved and quenched the Holy Spirit. We saddened Him and we silenced Him. We stilled Him and we stifled Him. But He gave us a fix for that too. 1 John 1:9, if we confess our sin, and He's faithful and just to forgive us of our sin and cleanse us of all unrighteousness. And we're filled again. And we take another run at it. Now, let me illustrate it this way. The glass, that's your life. And you got a sin nature. There's an oil spout always squirting dirty motor oil. You have to look at it, look closely, and you'll see it. You see it? You do. He's on the pastoral staff. All right, so the life is currently filled with what? Motor oil. Come on, it's always squirting, so what's it full of? All right. So when you received Christ, you were filled with the Holy Spirit. Now, is water lighter or heavier, or is oil lighter or heavier than water? Good. So is it in the top or the bottom of the glass? Good. You're not filled yet. You see, water has a surface tension on it called the meniscus. There is now more water in the glass than there is glass. So where's the oil going? See, it's still squirting. It doesn't stop. It's just not in the life. So now you're filled. Okay? But when you sin, and that was just a little sin. That was no big deal. That was just a little sin. That was no big deal. What takes the space? Oil. Now you're thinking, well, I'm pretty full. But you don't get half the Holy Spirit, or 2/3, or 3/4. So you either got the Holy Spirit or you don't got the Holy Spirit. Now that's not good English, but it's very good theology. And besides, God doesn't look at it this way. He looks at it this way. There's only one fix for that, 1 John 1:9. If you confess your sin, He's faithful and just to forgive your sin, cleanse you of all unrighteousness. Now we're filled. That's the way it works. So when you sin, and then you don't do anything about it, you'll sin again. And sin kind of compounds itself, and sometimes you do a big one. Oh, no. Funny thing about sin, the big ones get all over you, and they get all over anyone who happens to be close to you. 1 John 1:9. Faithful and just for us, we confess. You glad that verse is in there? Oh, yeah. How about you? I'm reloaded. Now this is a good way to live, but it's not the best way to live. This way, you are trying to lengthen your time between stumbles and decrease your confession time. But this way is a little better. I like living this way. Now the way you live this way is you quit trying and you let God and you listen. This is where you die to self. The progressive concept of dying to self and letting Jesus do everything for you. And that's what I want to do. Will you drink to that? Yeah, I'll drink to that. Sister.